I love Smitty. Like, I love her because she's like no nonsense, balls to the wall, does not care. She's going to do everything to get the job done. And it, like, you also have the best poker face. Like, I don't know if you're like, you have the best poker
Oh my
face.
goodness, that is so nice to hear. I'm so terrible at taking a compliment. The minute you say that, I just feel so like, oh,
Oh, I'm the
yeah,
same
that's
way.
really nice to hear.
But
Thank you. I mean,
Smitty, huh?
I was going to say that the minute I read the part,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of saw those characteristics in the character when Derek, the producer and also writer of the show, gave me the audition scenes. And I really like that about her as well. I like that she has these kind of two faces in a way. Like when you get this, sometimes you get to see them in the bar and stuff like that, relaxing and having a drink. And she really likes to poke fun at things. And sometimes she has a bit of that British cynicism where she can see the comedy in a situation.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it's time to work, it's like absolutely serious. She'll do anything to get the job done, as you said.
What part of Smitty is most like you? Because looking at you now and like, I'm like, wait a second, I don't see Smitty in her. Like, I don't see Smitty in her at all. And now, like,
because you haven't made me angry yet. No, I definitely have a bit of both. Actually, I'm definitely geeky in the way that she is. So I have a kind of geeky sense of humor and a kind of love of detailed inspection on things and interrogation of things. So I really relished the interrogation scene actually that I had to do for my audition, because then I got to be like a proper badass in that moment, and that's just really fun. But that's not to say that, you know, on the days when you cross me, that's when that's when Smitty comes out. It's nice to be able to play with those two extremes actually. Yeah, they've given me a bit of a gift in that sense. And I think as well, I guess maybe some of that comes from me, and maybe they saw that in me when I did the audition, because they gave me these contrasting scenes and that was how I played with them. So there's a lot of her in me, but the other thing is that because I'm the only Brit in the room, I have this kind of outsider position as well within the team. I'm like in the team, I'm in the family, but I also have a kind of outsider stance, which I think helps.
I think that Smitty is such an integral part of, like, no offense to, you know, Jaeger, like, but Smitty is such an integral part of the fly team that, like, I feel bad saying this, but like, can't imagine like life without her. Like, and like, are we ever going to learn more about her background and like what drove her to want to be in Europol, and like what drove her to want to be part of the fly team?
Well, episode 20, we are going to meet a member of her family, which I'm really excited about.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I've just picked up the script for that now, and I'm really excited about it. So there will be some revelations there. But the thing about the speed at which we make this show, every episode that comes is as much of a surprise to us as it is to you. And so it's like we're building this huge jigsaw puzzle, and every episode is like another piece and another piece and another piece, and that keeps us on our toes for sure, but also is really, really exciting.
Smitty from the beginning has had an unwavering dedication to the fly team, and really a strong trust in Scott. And I feel like I haven't really understood, because of the previous person who was helping with the fly team, like why she feels that way, and why being part of the fly team is so important to her. Why do you think that is?
I definitely think Scott is a huge part of that. We touched a little bit on their history when I first joined, and we've made a couple of hints here and there about some of what they went through together. And I'm really hoping that we're going to get more and more of that in the future. There was a scene, I think, what episode was it? Maybe 10? I think it was episode 10, where we had a small scene. It was kind of a transition scene almost, where we just, for a second, she mentioned about her choosing Budapest and why she decided to come here, and it was because of him, because he was the best boss she'd ever had. She said, she said, and I think it's professional, but it's definitely personal as well. There's something about what they went through together that I think, again, more will be revealed, but I think that's what means that she will put her life on the line for that team, because he's the leader of it.
That's amazing. I love, I'm gonna go back and watch episode 10 again just so I can see, like,
yeah.
What can you tell us about the crossover event? Because, like, honestly, I read the synopsis and I'm so excited. Like, I love the crossover last year, but this seems like it's more intense than like tenfold the intensity of like last year. So what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's amazing how FBI just keeps adding the intensity every single episode. It's more and more and more. So I can't give away too much, but the things I am allowed to say are, well, first of all, it's really exciting for us that FBI International is going to kick off the 3-part crossover event. So we're going to be there opening at 8 o'clock on the 4th of April on CBS television network and Paramount Plus. So for us, that's really exciting. And then it will unfold over the 3 hours how we are then having to call on the FBI OG and then Most Wanted as well, to bring all 3 teams together to deal with something that obviously is going to be pretty huge in order to take all 3 of us, all three teams. I can talk sort of generally about the themes in the episode. There's a real sense of right versus wrong, and what tough decisions each of us has to make in order to not only get the job done, but to do what's right. And I think that sometimes, ultimately, that will either put each individual in jeopardy, or you'll end up putting someone else in jeopardy. And that's where it begins. That's where the professional crosses over into the personal, and there will be lots at stake personally for each character in this episode as well. What else can I say? I think you already know it's taking place against the beautiful backdrop of Rome, which is like breathtaking in itself and makes the whole thing incredibly exciting. Yeah, for me personally, I got to work with Jeremy Sisto and Chantal Van Santen, which was amazing. And I'd never, I wasn't here last season, so I didn't get to do the crossover before. So I hadn't even met anyone in the original 2 shows. Okay. So for me personally, this has made me feel even more part of the FBI family, and kind of like brought all of us together to really feel like one big team. What else can I say about the crossover event? Have to be so careful.
You got me so, like, you don't even need to say anymore, because you got me so excited. I can't, like, I feel like a geek because I can't stop cheesing, because it, like, honestly, it's really such an honor to speak to you, because, like, again, FBI International is my favorite show, and I literally cannot wait for the crossover episode, and now you've got me even more excited for it.
Oh, good. I'm glad. No, we're excited. We were all so buzzing on set when we were filming it, because not only were we playing with each other, like, it's almost like having cousins in a different country that you never get to see, and then you finally get to see them, and it's like, let's play. It was so much fun for us.
I love that.
Yeah. And also, because we're in Budapest, we don't have our family. Well, we have our own close families here, our personal partners, things like that here. But we don't have our extended families. We don't have our friends from home here in Budapest. So we've really made a very close-knit family with each other, the FBI International cast. And so it really is like extended family coming over from abroad for us and making us feel, again, more like we're part of something big, because we can feel kind of very far away from America, where this is all happening and where the hype really is taking place. We just walk around Budapest quite anonymously.
That's gotta be nice though. Like, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, it's lovely, but it would also be nice, like, to meet you today is it's nice to get a bit of that feedback of what kind of impact we're actually having out there, you know.
I mean, honestly, FBI International is like appointment TV for me. Like it is. I sit because I have friends all over the world, and like, but I sit with my friends and we like are on Zoom and we like talk about it and like make guesses as to what's going to happen and things like that. And I don't know what it is that really that speaks to me so much, but I really honestly think it's it really genuinely feels like you guys are a big family and that you would do anything for each other. And I'm talking like the cast personally, and it carries over onto the screen like so visibly that there's an intense like camaraderie. So
I genuinely, and it sounds like a cliche, but I genuinely think that's because that's true of real life. Each of us chooses to see each other on the weekends. You know, a lot of the time we work 6 days in the week, and then we'll still see each other on the 7th day and then come back to work, you know, the following day. We are a very close-knit family, and sometimes on set it means that, you know, we can't get through a scene because we're giggling so much. And you would probably ask, like, what's funny? You know, because we're always dealing with such hard-hitting cases. But somehow we managed to find the lightness in it and the comedy in it as well.
That's amazing. Do you guys like have like a group text chat?
We do. Yeah.
Who texts the most and who texts the least?
I actually think that I might be guilty of texting the most. Who texts the least is probably Luke. He likes to phone. He's one of those people where you text him and he immediately phones you back, and you're like, dude, why are you phoning me? Just text me. And he's like, no, I like to phone. I like to phone. So yeah, he does the most phoning, which is actually really nice.
I don't even pick up the phone. I would literally stare at the phone and be like, okay, when it's done, I'll be like, what did you think?
I know exactly. Most people these days are like, why are you calling me? But he's kind of old school in that sense.
I love that. And my last question for you is, why do you think the FBI franchises resonate with so many people?
I like to think that because it's a procedural, there's a familiarity in the sense that you know what to expect. However, every single episode they bring a new angle. So it's like there might be a slightly different genre. So for our show, we might have a heist one week, like a sort of typical heist classics sort of episode, and then the next week a sort of whodunit. You know, it's like the procedure is the same in terms of we've got the bad guy, we know that we need to, we have a case to crack. And so there's a familiarity there, and you feel the natural rise and fall of the episode, but each week it's a different monster that you're going after. I say monster because I'm thinking of Buffy the Vampire Slayer now.
I love that.
Yeah. Each week you have the same people, but it's a different monster, and you have to find them in a different way. Or the way that they're taking control is a different way, and you have to execute the case differently as a result. I think that means that people are kept on their toes. And in this day and age, when lots of people are scrolling whilst they're watching television, I think FBI does a really good job of making sure that it's moving so fast, so much intensity, that you cannot look away. You have to keep watching, otherwise you're going to miss something really vital.
100%. I have to say, like, I cannot stop. Like, I put my phone down. When you drive, look like you are in Fast and Furious, and like you are about to like take out somebody with your car. Like, it is it's amazing. And I know that like a lot of times in movies and TV, it's like on the back of a trailer and stuff like that. But I like watch you, I watch you drive to Smitty, and I'm like, dang, girl's gonna take them out. She is not stopping. Like, I have to say, you've been such a great addition to the cast, and you've brought so much to your role as Smitty. And I love watching you every week. I know that, she's somebody that people can relate to, but also find power as a girl in. And it's a beautiful thing. And Again,
Thank you.
my favorite show on TV. I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I'm gonna like cheese smile all day long.
You're so welcome. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.